Yo ho ho, Dom Mafia. Welcome to yet another edition of the Dom Mafia Report and day 4 of my 365-day challenge of posting a video every day. I've enjoyed it, I really have. But I would be a liar if I didn't admit that I've run into my share of roadblocks. Perfect example. I was legitimately about to upload an NFL news video filled with Tim Tebow, the Virgin Wonder, is back in the NFL. Aaron Rodgers is a douchebag jokes littered across an entire beautified piece of content. And then right before I was about to upload it, I completely deleted the original video file, and here I am. Then, this is my third time attempting to film this video because I just keep up, my camera's dying. But you know what? It doesn't matter, Dom Mafia, because I am a man of my word. And you are getting a video every day, okay? But regardless, this video is still gonna be pretty fun. Jaboy has gone full nerd. I mean, you might as well just think that I would work for those PFF douches. But at the end of the day, I have been crunching stats, and I am prepared to make you all believers that our greatest weakness in 2020, the pass rush, and is about to be our biggest strength. I know, shocking, but I think that I can make you guys believers. Before we dive into that, I do want to remind everybody that I am giving away either a PS5 or an Xbox Series X, announcing the winner on July 2nd, my 30th birthday, on Instagram. In order to enter, all you need to do is screenshot proof that you are subscribed to my channel, send it over to me via Instagram DMs, and voila, you are entered and you have a chance of winning a next-gen console to bring home. So go on ahead, drop what you're doing, and sign up for that contest. Also, very quick shout out to Finsdoc and my most recent Patreon contributor. Finsdoc, thank you so much. You've been around for a very long time. I know you're a Dolphins fan, but you've always been super cool, super supportive. I appreciate you more than anything. Guys, if you ever want to go the extra mile in supporting my channel besides smashing the out of that like button and being a subscriber, obviously, Patreon is the way to do it. You get a bunch of cool perks, like you get a shout out on the channel. You might even have a chance of being brought on to my show so we can talk Buffalo Bills or anything NFL. So go on ahead, check that out. But like I said, the only thing I ever ask for, baby, is a nice little violated like button. Anyway, let's go on ahead and get to business. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So like I said, I've been doing my share of research. And the first thing I wanted to do is I wanted to look back at the stats of the overall Buffalo Bills defensive line in 2020. Now, I know that it was very frustrating. Some of the stats weren't as bad as a lot of us thought as far as rankings across the league, but still pretty abysmal. Sacks, we had 38, ranked 15th. QB hurries, 50, 23rd. That's probably the worst stat out of them all. And then a total of 143 pressures, which was ranked 18th in the league. So for the most part, bottom dwellers, bottom half in each and every single category when it went down to it. My next step was this. I was like, you know what? Rather than me going through the entire defensive line on an individual basis in 2020, what I'm going to do is I am going to analyze the stats of the new additions. And I only picked out 3. Obviously, our 2 draft picks. And then F.A. Obata. I really hope that I pronounced that correctly. And then we're going to see what they have done throughout the past couple of years in the NFL and in college for our draft picks cases, and see what it would look like if those numbers were associated with our 2020 numbers. Starting off with my dude F.A. in Carolina, straight from across the pond, by the way. London, super sick. Love that city. 5.5 sacks, 4 tackles for a loss, 15 QB hits, 5 hurries, and 21 pressures. And so this guy is a very effective defensive end, especially when he was able to put up those numbers with a team like Carolina, which sort of had a somewhat of issues when it came down to overall pressure as well, probably around the same time as the Bills. I'm really excited to see what this guy is going to do, whether or not that he is a rotational piece or whether or not that he is a starter. Who knows how it all kind of plays out. But this is obviously a fantastic addition. Next, we have to go on ahead and we have to talk about Gregory Rousseau, our first pick, number 30. And I know a lot of you guys are mad at me because I wanted a running back, but the second that Etienne and Najee Harris were gone, I was like, Rousseau, 1,000%. Now, it's sort of nerve-wracking, especially since he did opt out of the 2020 season, so we're really only based off of his 2019 year, which, by the way, was his only year playing football outside of high school. But He just so happened to have a hell of a year. Let's go this way. In 2019, this is what I ended up pulling. 15.5 sacks, 19.5 tackles for a loss, 6 quarterback hits, 7 hurries, and 45 pressures. Insane. Insane. This guy was born to be a quarterback's nightmare moving into it. I'm very excited to see him play. I'm hoping that he develops. Obviously, guys, let me go on ahead and say that I know that it takes time to develop in the NFL, but let me have my fun, okay? Last but not least, our most recent second-round addition, Carlos Basham. Now, please do me a favor, okay, and try not to get a hard-on when I give you these stats right here. I also went off in 2019 because in 2020, Wake Forest only played 6 games, so I didn't feel like that was enough of a sample size to get an idea of where he was coming from. In 2019, Basham had 10 sacks, cool, 18 tackles for a loss, cool, but get this, 61 pressures, 61. In fact, 61 pressures was the most pressures out of any draft-eligible player in the 2021 NFL draft. I wish that I knew that. I would have celebrated a lot more obnoxiously if I knew that going into it. Look what research does, baby. It's funny because between his sophomore and junior year, he combined a total of 112 pressures on the quarterback. So, Dan, what does this all mean, right? I mean, we're looking at past stats, different teams. We're talking about college kids coming to the NFL. What does this look like? So here's what I thought. What if we were to take all of those numbers and just for shits and giggles, let's go on ahead and just account for sacks and let's account for QB pressures, okay? And we were to add those stats to 2020. In 2020, if Basham, Russo, and Obata were on this team, the Buffalo Bills would be 3rd in the entire league at 69 total sacks. And that's going and including the production that we had with our actual team in 2020. Get this. If all of those numbers were included in 2020, the Buffalo Bills would have had 270 pressures, first in the league. The Pittsburgh Steelers were at 213, and they led the league last year in total pressures. Now, like I said, okay, this is really just a stab in the dark at this point, but I'm just looking at overall athleticism, trust in the coaching staff that we have on the defensive side of things. And there's always a possibility that somebody that had a cold year last year is going to have a great year this year. Someone that had a great year last year is going to have a bad year that year. When it comes down to it, these guys are the men. So, Dom Mafia, listen, my camera's about to die, and I don't want to film this for the 4th time. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think. And before I let you go, always remember, let's go Buffalo.